happy Monday to you, Canterbury. Welcome to Canterbury Live on Monday, the 29th of June. Well, we headed up to Porters yesterday for a little bit of skiing. It was a little bit, unfortunately. The weather did cut in, a lot of wind, but we still got a few runs in there. Lots of families out there and a lot of first-time skiers. Very cool indeed. They've got a wonderful magic carpet and beginner area down there. So if you're keen on it, it's a great place to take the children and the family. And if you're not into skiing, before you turn off to Porters, there's a wonderful area there for the children to take them there for tobogganing, just to feel the snow or play on the iced lake that's there at the moment. Take care though, of course, but very cool. Now, ice is what's happening in August. Disney on Ice heads to Christchurch. Disney on Ice presents Dare to Dream. Join your favourite Disney princesses and heroic princes in a classic meets contemporary celebration of 75 years of Disney princess stories. Disney on Ice presents Dare to Dream at the Christchurch Horncastle Arena from the 7th to the 9th of August. Tickets available from Ticketek. Rightio, and remembering that those tickets or entries close this Wednesday. But there is another entry you can enter into. Then, of course, it's a wonderful painting over my shoulder here, Ira Mitchell Kirk. And today is your last day to enter to win this beautiful painting from Ira for your home or for your business with a wonderful Matariki theme. Now, for both of these prizes, all you need to do, you know the drill, is to call through on 3777033 or go to our Facebook page. Make sure you like us, share us, leave your details, and it's as simple as that. And don't forget that we are now live streaming. That's right, live. And as well as that, you can also hear us on Top Cat FM. That's right, I know, it's all happening. Rightio. On today's show, Karen Deegan joins me, and we're talking about the rules we have in the book in our head. Yes, those deal breakers and how we can actually break them. Michelle Withers joins me, reflexologist, and is showing us and demonstrating a Indian head massage. Very special indeed. And our health guru, Mr. Marky Mark from Stay Well is here. But first up, looking forward to this week's recipe. Joining me, looking very much the rock chick in the kitchen, is Nicola Freya. Just looking for the guitar or the mic. You're looking awesome.
Got to keep yourself warm, don't you?
Exactly. Welcome to Monday, Nicola.
Thank you.
Now, let's start things off. We'll get to your beautiful recipe, which I think is just amazing, about eating your colours every day. Eating your colours every day?
Yeah. Well, you've lots of coloured vegetables definitely make our plates look more attractive and make that meal look really nice and add to the taste in that as well. But it's actually really important to eat a mix of colours because there's different nutrients in the different coloured vegetables, so the combination is what we need for the best health.
So as long as we're getting a 5 a day though, does it really matter what we're eating?
Well, the thing is, obviously the key is try to get your 5+ a day, and so that includes at least 3 serves of vegetables. So that's the first thing, and if all you can do is knock that off, then that's the crucial part. But if you want to do it to the best you can, getting that combination of the colours is the key. Yeah.
Well, you've got a beautiful platter here,
yes,
with lots of different colours. So let's have a look and see what the benefits that we have from these gorgeous veggies. So
this is sort of the range of the different colours. There's 5 different coloured groups that are sort of veg have identified for us. So we've got our purples. I've got the purple onion there and kumara. Got our white vegetables. So there's onion and mushrooms there. And then we've got green, obviously, broccoli and courgette I've got there. And then we've got reds, so tomatoes. And reds are particularly good for heart health and memory. So this is sort of the things that they sort of break down to. Obviously they're good in general, but just the little things in particular. And we've got orange vegetables, we've got our carrots here, and you're probably very familiar with that being good for our eyes, and also immunity. So and they've all got their little things that they're particularly good for there. So yeah, so if you can imagine setting up your plate and getting a mix of vegetables, you might have 3 vegetables with your evening meal, and you'll know yourself if you get handed a plate and the colours are a bit out and you don't have a green on your plate or something, it just doesn't look quite right.
No.
So it's
and
really...
you do eat with your eyes, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. So
when you're talking about the benefits here, is that the chemical balance that are in those vegetables?
Yes, it is. And they've actually got a special name for the chemicals that are beneficial in vegetables. They're called phytochemicals. phytochemicals, and phyto, the word itself, means from plant. And so this is a mix of all sorts of things that are found in the vegetables, simple as fibre and the carbohydrate, the vitamins and minerals. And the other thing about vegetables is it's widely thought that there's lots of different chemicals in there that are beneficial to us that we don't yet know about. So that's why they say really important to, rather than perhaps taking a pill or a vitamin, which can be useful as well, but the best way to do it is through your vegetables, because who knows all those extras that we're getting out of those that you might not get out of an individual tablet that's just got one nutrient in it or something like that.
And I guess if people are scared of what vegetables they're eating, because not a lot of people, some people don't like vegetables at all, you can disguise them, can't you?
Yes,
in other meals. I mean, what's some suggestions, or just one,
Yeah.
that we could do to try and incorporate as many vegetables as possible?
Definitely. And we've talked before about sort of grating your vegetables into something that might disguise them a bit, perhaps something that's like bolognese or something with a tomato sauce. You can often hide a lot of vegetables and that sort of thing. And the other thing is sort of chopping them up, and not necessarily, they don't have to be eaten at the table necessarily from the plate cooked. If you've got someone a child that doesn't like that sort of setup, they might just sit and help you get things ready and nibble away on some frozen peas. There's always a goodie with little
frozen
ones.
Peas, I've done it in years. Yum.
Or help chop something. If they're helping with the cooking, then that sort of definitely makes them more attractive to have a wee nibble.
Yeah, and that's a point actually. If you're forcing, it's not going to happen, is it? If you're putting that on that pressure and that stuff there. Yeah. So, what happens though if we just talked about different ways of putting the vegetables into our diet, but how about if we don't like to have too much on our plate of vegetables of different variety? What's another option? Blending or? Yeah,
definitely. Well, there's just there's lots of ways to sort of set up that half a plate of vegetables or 3 serves or whatever you have with your evening meal. The other, if it is a bit daunting sort of having it all on your plate, you could do a stir fry. You could do salads instead of your cooked vegetables. And even if you're making, like we were just saying, a bolognese or a casserole or something like that, you can include the vegetables in the sauce and have it as part of that whole sort of saucy mixture rather than just on the side.
Apart from looking at the rock chick, she's rocking the vegetables as well. And tomorrow, continuing the veggie theme, beautiful recipe, Thai pumpkin soup. Look forward to that recipe.
It's really simple, and it's got some peanut butter and some coconut cream in it.
No way.
Yeah, and it's delicious, I'll tell you. And it includes 3 of your colours, so yeah.
Done and dusted, there we are. And remember, the recipe will be on the website there, nourish.org.nz. And remember that wonderful Facebook page as well as the website that you can get all those wonderful tips from the beautiful Nicola. Have a great day. Now stay with us, because after the break, our health guru is here. Yes, Mark from Stable Pharmacy. And are you ripped with abs like Marky Mark was back in the day?
Of course.
Of course you are.
Yes,
of course you are. You take a tablet for that.
Right.
Welcome to Canterbury Live this wonderful Monday. We've had a few giggles before we went into air though in the gap, because a lot of these products here you all know and be very familiar with. So what are we covering today?
So what we're covering today is what your medications do to the nutrients in your body. So we might call that nutrient depletion. Now, it's winter at the moment, so everybody, unfortunately, those are people that haven't gone and got prepared for winter, are coming down with these chest infections or sinus infections, and you'll be familiar with antibiotics. So we've got the Augmentin down there. There's a whole raft of those. The big one with antibiotics is they kill the good guys as well as the bad guys. And what I say to my customers is that the antibiotic's going to rip the carpet up of your intestine of all the good guys, and at night time we want to relay that carpet
again. Oh, you're
again.
a poet, aren't you?
So we're talking about probiotics, and people may have seen some of those on the TV. I don't sell the yogurts with the probiotics, because you need to talk in terms of billions, not millions when you're replacing. And the capsules we do are equivalent to about 25 to 50 tubs of yogurt per day. So, that we're talking potent stuff. But so you take the antibiotic during the day, probiotic at night, and ladies, if you're prone to thrush, you take 2 by mouth, and every night or every second night you actually insert 1 vaginally, and that can prevent vaginal thrush from happening. So really, really useful.
Because I know a lot of women that will stop taking antibiotics because they just don't want that after effect.
And then, of course, they're not completing the course, and then they're not going to get well, and there's a risk of resistance. So those are what we'd call acute medications, things you take once in a while. The other three we've got here are our chronic medications, so the statins. So everybody's into looking after the cholesterol, although if you go and watch that movie, That Sugar Film, you're left wondering whether it's actually sugar instead of fat that's the problem.
Yeah.
But with the statins, so the Lipitor, the Simvastatin, the Zerator, they're depleting a very, very common antioxidant in your body called coenzyme Q10. And if you're diabetic and you're on metformin or glipizide or glycoside, it's also depleting CoQ10. And that's the compound that is a powerful antioxidant in your body. It prevents you getting cancer. It also speeds up your metabolism. So people often will get muscle aching. They might experience some fatigue, maybe trouble with memory. The way around that is, one, try and see how low you can get on your statin, and you need to talk to your doctor about that. But also supplementing with coenzyme Q10, and we can talk to people about how to do that. Okay. I need to say too, Andrea, that please, I'm not telling people to stop taking their medication.
No.
I have had that where people have gone to the doctor and said, oh no, Mark at Staywell's told me to stop taking my pills.
Oh no.
So it's really a conversation and we need to work together to do that. But that's a group of medication, very common used these days, and there are ways around it. The next group, so these are your PPIs or your reflux medications, your Losec, your pantoprazole, your omeprazole, and these block the stomach acid. Now, if you're 50 or over, you're probably actually producing less stomach acid than more, and you're not producing enough digestive enzymes, but you're going to get the same indigestion response that somebody who's younger is. Now, the first thing I'd say is if there's a food that's upsetting your tummy, stop eating it. Because, you know, we get people saying, oh, well, I have problems with this, so I just pop a Losec. That's not necessarily the right way to go. No. Now, there are some very rare conditions that need ongoing PPI treatment. Stomach cancer would be one. But anybody else should really be looking at reviewing this. And we can cut it down very, very slowly, very, very carefully using digestive enzymes. But you're not getting magnesium, selenium, vitamin C, B3, B6, B12 and a whole lot of other goodies because your stomach's not absorbing it because the acid's not there, iron as well. So we can talk to you about that. The last one we've got there is HRT and the contraceptive pill. Now with this one, again, all your B vitamins, so B1, B2, B3, B6, B12 and folic acid, plus vitamin C, magnesium, manganese and selenium and zinc. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
How many people on HRT or the contraceptive pill and want to have optimal health? Now, you're not absorbing these products or you're processing them too quickly. So in either case, you need to be able to work with us. We can help you with that and help bring you back into balance, back to optimal health.
And that's the key word, I think, out of this time with us, Mark, is balance.
Is balance.
Is balance, bring that balance back.
Yeah.
And remember, as Mark said, that he's got the team there who are more than happy to talk you through it, and even a dietitian as well, which is fantastic. So it's Staywell Pharmacy in Sheens Road in Hornby. Live well, stay well. Pretty simple, isn't it? 03 349 8785, and the website is staywell.co.nz. And now I'm hopping over to catch up with my friend Michelle Withers. Time to be relaxed. Joining me now, of course, is Michelle Withers here. Hi Michelle, how are we doing?
Fine, great, thanks Andrea.
I'm very excited. We've got beautiful Teresa here as well. And today about Indian head massages.
Yes, no, it's becoming a really popular treatment choice. Nice little, usually half-hour routine, relieving stress and tension, helps with headaches, sleep, sinus, quite a few things. And everyone gets a bit jelly-like usually after having a nice bit of treat time, yeah.
Oh, well, Teresa, I'm sure we'll just lap it up and actually enjoy it. So maybe if you can get into it and then we can just talk through. You've given us some benefits already. So Indian head massage, I'm going to state the obvious, it did originate in India? Or?
That's correct. It's an Ayurvedic treatment, and in fact it was often done, or mostly done by the women, as an opportunity to strengthen their hair and also to have touch with one another. So it went from mother to daughter or grandmother to daughter, and they'd even often sit in one behind each other and you know, work away, massaging and adding oils and you know, sort of tonify and strengthen the hair and the scalp.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
They've also, it's very popular in barber shops in India as well, so the guys get into it too. And in fact, I would say it's actually quite popular with our men because they often quite enjoy having their heads or scalps worked on as well, and because you stay fully clothed during the treatment, it's very accessible and you really just need a chair. It makes it a nice easy treatment, and you know, it keeps the barriers there, you know, so that people don't feel awkward, particularly when they're meeting someone for a first time. You know,
Well,
for a
it's
touch
quite
therapy.
personal, yeah, exactly. It's quite a personal thing, isn't it? Meeting a new massage therapist or reflexologist, because you're making a true connection with them, aren't you? Especially with your hands and in the personal space. So what are you doing here now with Teresa?
Just rolling through the trapezius muscles on top of the shoulders. You pick them up and then give them a nice squeeze, and then I call this ironing.
It looks a bit like
shoulders.
Or kneading, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know, you can come down and do the arms. There's lots of different little techniques. You can use the knuckles and go down the spine, just on the outside of the muscles on the outside of the spine.
So is that working the knots potentially that are there? Or?
Yeah, you're just, you know, gently pressing and working on them to try and, you know, move out all that tension that's there. And of course, one of the most common spots is right on the corners of the shoulder blades. So you can, you know, spread your fingers across here and tuck your thumbs in here. And I think, too, you can probably feel that quite well, and often, you know, you'll feel it right up into the neck.
It's amazing. I can see now that Teresa's just relaxed a bit too as well.
Yeah, it makes you sort of feel a little bit.
No, it's good. And you've got a roll down here. And what's that for in particular? Or?
Right, well, I'm going to pop that up and do, we'll do the face. It becomes a nice barrier between us so that you can gently tip your head back into that sort of cushioned area.
Ah, okay.
But we come up from the shoulders and we just go into the neck, and we're rubbing here. And
so 30 minutes then, Michelle, is normal for an Indian hair massage, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, but I mean,
Obviously,
you can adjust it and make it longer.
Today, Teresa, so.
And there's some key acupuncture points that we can we go into and press, and they are usually pretty key headache points, and they also hold a lot of neck tension. So we can go in and we do pressing and wee circles on those to here with the top of our thumbs.
She's grin on her face like, How do you feel though, Teresa?
I feel amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And then if you imagine if we add a little bit of oil here as well, that can help the glide on the skin. And then we come up after we've done you know, a lot longer in our routine on the neck, and we go into the scalp. And I could take your ponytail out, but I'll just do for the demo. And we put our fingers, you know, in onto the scalp and work through, and you can add oils and things, and you know, just do lots of long, lovely strokes and wiggles, and you can, you know, I think you've got lovely clips in here as well. You won't look the same if I pull this to pieces.
Well, we're time restrained, so normally we have to close up the segment, but this would go on the back, and then you'd continue on to the face and just end off there.
Pop
Is
this
that right?
in here, and if you just want to pop your head back, and we'd come to these points here, like just between the eyebrows up here, which are key sinus points, and coming down to the outside of the nose and putting some gentle pressure on there.
Beautiful.
And this spot here, right down under the pupils and the cheekbones.
Oh my
Another
goodness.
key spot, and doing some lovely sweeps.
Oh, it's so lovely. So if you would love to enjoy this experience, remember 30 minutes normally. Michelle Withers is definitely your reflexologist that you need to call on. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thanks,
And
Andrea.
thanks, Tui. You've really
Thanks, Tui.
enjoyed that. It's great. Now stay with us, because after the break, Karen Deegan joins me on the couch. Well, do we have rules? Yes, we do for most things in life, and sometimes the rule book is in our head. And today, Karen Deegan is joining me with some more wonderful advice. I love the topic today because I think a lot of viewers out there will have the big moment where they can recognise it to themselves. So where do we start?
Well, I get a lot of people coming to me for help with relationships. And one of the things I get so often is when their husband or wife has just broken up with them and said, I haven't been getting what I wanted for a lot of years now. And my client is like, I didn't know. And you know, I've come to this conclusion that we have, I call it a rule book in our head. It's not really a rule book, but in our head, we've got an idea of what we need, want and expect from the other person. And the thing is, we don't usually tell the other person what we need, want and expect. And they have no idea, so how can they possibly meet it?
And then we get annoyed, don't we? Because they don't know our rules. Is that what you find?
Oh, yeah, people say to me, but they should just know. and so one of the things I have to help people with is how to communicate what their needs, wants and expectations are, what the rules that we have are, because the other person, and just because they know what our rules are, doesn't mean they're going to meet them, but it means that at least they know what they are and they can at least try and meet our expectations.
Well, can you give us an example of someone that you've helped to change the rules in their book?
Well, I help people to communicate, like for instance, if they are having problems in their relationship, and I've got one lady in particular I'm thinking of at the moment, her husband is not meeting her needs and she's considering whether to stay or go. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before you even make that decision, you have to communicate, he doesn't know that he's not meeting your needs because she hasn't told him. So I'm helping her to, I'm teaching her a lovely way that she can. I've got this particular technique. We haven't got time to go through it today, but I've got this particular technique that I can use that you can communicate what you need from the other person in a nice way that doesn't get their back up and makes them aware of what your expectations are.
Well, that's a good way of putting it. Well, they don't get defensive and think it's an attack at them.
Yes.
But if that's wonderful that client is coming to you, though, before the fact,
yes,
and not after the fact. That's quite a strong, and obviously you've got to look at it both ways and think, well, do they really want this relationship if they're already recognising it? Is that where you come in with EFT?
Yes, definitely. I mean, often people come to me trying to make a decision, and not just in a relationship, but particularly in a relationship. Or do I stay, do I go? Or if we've really split up, do I go back to him or her? And I always say, look, I don't give people advice. What I do is I clear the emotion out the way. When we clear the anger, the resentment, the fear, for making a change, when we clear all of those different emotions out of the way, you know what the right answer is for yourself.
So what should people do when they realise that I've got to stop blaming the other person for all my shortfalls? Because that must happen quite a lot. Is it it's someone else's problem, not mine? Once you get to the point where you recognise, oh, actually, it's me, what should we do?
I like that actually. Gandhi always used to say, be the change you want to see in the world. And I've changed that slightly and I say, be the change you want to see in the relationship. So I help people to be the change they want to see, and yes, they might think that their partner's got all the problems, but I help them to make the changes first, and then we can clear, and once we've made changes in ourselves, once we've communicated our rule book, then we've got a clear picture of whether the other person can then meet our expectations and can go along with the person that we're trying to be. So then we know, then we've got a clear picture. They either can or they can't. We know what decision we can make.
Yeah, great. But we do need you, Karen. We do need you to help us on that journey. So what will you be sharing with us next time that you're with us, Karen?
I've got two little evil words.
Ooh.
I know. That
chocolate?
No. Two little evil words that make us feel wrong all the time. So they affect our self-confidence, our sense of self-worth, they just affect everything in life. So I'm going to teach you about these two little words and what we can do to eliminate them from our lives.
Oh, I love it. A bit of a teaser there, isn't it? But I think out of our session today, I said session, isn't that funny? I feel like I've actually had a session with Karen Deegan today. But I think the learned thing for us, so can you just say that quote again from Gandhi, because I love that. I think that's what we should take away this week.
I've changed it to be the change you want to see in the relationship.
I love it. That's great. Set free with EFT. That's beautiful. Karen Deegan, look forward to a fortnight's time. Thank you so much for joining with us today. Tomorrow's show, Crafty Sarah is back and the beautiful Phyllis Brown. Have a wonderful Monday. Look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow.